What time is it? It's Packard Folks at time. Hat? Check. Shirt? Check. Pants? Optional. Mug? Double check. Check us out at cafepress.com/PackardPokesat where you can get all this great merchandise and more.
Do you like Packard Pokesat and want to hear it on demand and on the go? Download the free app today at Stitcher.com. Available on iOS, Android, Nook, and iPad.
This is Packard Pokesat, and I'm poking at your news. Hello, everybody. This is Packard Pokesat, the Midweek Show. This is not episode. This is season 5, episode 2. Well, it's episode 2 of season 5. I'm just gonna say episode 2. And then you're going to have to go wonder where we are at until we get to the end of the season. So
I think you better decide now how you want to say it. That's fine. Say season 5, episode 2. That works for me. I think.
Yeah, season 5, episode 2. So it's going to be a little bit of a change for me too, because I have to start saying season this and episode that and whatever. Unfortunately, I was unable to get to making the new webpage up. I've been a little busy this week. Plus, I've made up a new video, which is up on the channel. So if you want to go take a look at that, it's one of our PPA versus episodes. And I cover talking about, quote unquote, Brother William from Google Plus. And I explain why I decided to discuss another Google Plus user. This guy is a poster child for atheism.
This is why you should not indoctrinate your children.
Yeah, this or anybody for that matter.
Anybody.
Yeah.
The mentally ill.
Especially the mentally ill. So, Connie, do you have a story for us tonight?
Oh, speaking of mentally ill,
yeah,
let's talk about Trump, our POTUS, right?
Oh yeah, that's the guy, that mentally ill guy.
I'm sorry, the word POTUS never seemed to make much sense to me, but with him in office, it kind of just fits. It sounds like your much retarded hillbilly triple inbred cousin, Yeah. Okay. Well, the State's Department's science envoy quits with a not-so-secret message for Trump. An anagram, I guess is what it's called. Let's see, in the sidebar. A science envoy from the Department of State sent a resignation letter to President Donald Trump on Wednesday with a not-so-subtle secret message: impeach. Daniel Kamen, a professor of energy at U of California, Berkeley, told Trump in a letter dated Wednesday that his decision to quit his State Department post in response to your attacks on core values of the United States. As an example, he cited Trump's reaction to the deadly white supremacist rally in Charlottesville last week, calling the response consistent with a broader pattern of behavior that enables sexism and racism. But it's Kamen's acrostic, the first letter of each paragraph spelling out the word that sent a blunter message to Trump: impeach. I'm like, this is too nerdy and this is too intelligent for Trump. He's not going to get it. It's too subtle, but we can all enjoy it, right? What gets me, though, this envoy, he's been in this position, Department of Energy. He served the Department of Energy, the Environmental Protection Agency, and the State Department in a number of roles since 1996. The Science Envoy program, which he was a member of, brings together U.S. scientists and engineers to identify opportunities for sustained international cooperation. That means he's been since Clinton, and 2 terms of Bush and 2 terms of Obama.
Nice.
It's not partisan on his part, and he quit. But impeach.
And also, apparently, I'm looking at the same article because it popped up on mine here too. Mm-hmm. It says that on the other side, one of the other parts, it's also said resist. I mean, you may have mentioned that already. But
no, I hadn't mentioned that, but yeah.
I just like, that's awesome. That's awesome. Do you think he'll get it? Unless they circle it out for him and they put it in noodles for him on his desk and say, "See, Mr. Trump, this is what it spills." Ooh.
Well, if it's on Fox News, he'll see it. If it's
Oh,
on faux news, then he'll see
yeah.
it when they talk about that in the morning. That when he's on his toilet between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m., dropping his deuces and tweeting whatever else he does on the toilet, I just don't want to know.
Yeah.
So
speaking of the Cheeto, really quick here, we had the eclipse on Monday. I hope everybody got out the chance to see it, or at least see some of it on TV at the NASA Live website. And there was Donald out looking at it directly because he thought that staring at the sun was fake news. Because apparently you can't go blind when the news tells you don't look directly at the sun. Says, "Oh, I'm gonna do it anyway." Wow, just wow.
He didn't look long enough, darn it.
No, I saw this great meme based on what he was doing. He's pointing up like this, right? So somebody took his picture, and because he's got his hand at an angle, kind of like an angle pointing upward, and someone made him look like the Nazi symbol out of his picture using his arm as a corner point there. So
the other meme I liked, I saw somebody had him holding it up to the sun with a magnifying glass.
oh.
I prefer the Nazi symbol, but yeah.
That would have been even better. Actually, we told Mr. President, you're not supposed to look at the sun, especially through a magnifying glass. So
this is a special glass made by NASA. It's going to solve all of our problems. Just hold it right here. See, if God was real, he'd be the kid with the magnifying glass, and he would have killed Trump already, right?
Speaking of that, and God and the eclipse and everything, I'm on my way to work the other morning, and they were talking about the eclipse on the radio on the AM coast to coast or whatever, and he was talking about how moved he is by the eclipse, and he goes, I don't understand how anybody could look at that and not know that there's a God. And I'm like, really, dude? Really? An eclipse is not proof of God. An eclipse is proof that the moon orbits the earth, and it just happens to fall into a particular plane every once in a great while.
It's funny because there was a lot of discussion about why the eclipse is so, I don't know, it freaks a lot of people out, or it's considered this big spiritual thing. And somebody said that, well, animals, a lot of times they would look up and they would go blind. They would be staring at it. I don't know if that's true, but
there was a lot of people, they were saying, please keep your pets indoors just in case, because the animals, they might not realize that.
Well, usually they fall asleep is the other thing I heard. They will think that it's nighttime.
I think that's more along the lines for like wild animals, because wild animals will like say, or they will see it's getting dark and they will fall into a habit where it's like, okay, it's nighttime's coming. I've got to go do this particular activity, which is sleep and rest. But they don't realize in a few moments that it's going to be over. So
my cats were very nonplussed. Really, another nap? Oh God, my nap schedule is totally off now.
I'm going to fit this into my schedule.
Shoot. Now what am I going to do? Sort of like, hobbits with all the meals they eat. Oh, is there 11sies? Oh, yeah, I guess so. Here I was in Washington State, not that far from Oregon, which was the path of totality. And I went outside and I was trying to use my phone to view it, selfie mode, all these other things.
Oh, no.
And
don't do that.
I mean, recording and stuff, holding the phone up and I was holding the phone up and blocking the sun or doing these other things, and it just kept making this huge star. And even though I'm not that far away from Oregon, it's just enough. It was just enough that I should have been watching it on TV, but it was interesting because it got darker. I mean, I told my daughter Bree, I said, oh wow, it got noticeably darker outside and the temperature dropped. And I can't remember, a lot of people were saying it dropped like 10 degrees or 20 degrees because it's been warm. So it was still kind of fun. It was just sort of a non-event for me, but
Here in town, apparently, and I didn't know that the local Walmart was selling the solar glasses. Otherwise, I would have picked up some. So, and I found out, I went out there the morning of, and I went out there because I had seen it on the online saying, you guys said that you guys were selling these? I was like, yeah. I was at the quick walkthrough where you can scan your own stuff out, and the lady's going like, oh, well, you could still watch it, but you just aim your cell phone at the sun and you just watch it through the viewer. I'm like, no, you don't do that. Don't tell people that. You're gonna burn out the sensor in your phone. Your phone has sensors in it too, and it'll be the last thing your phone ever sees. That's why you have to buy special lenses for your digital equipment and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, don't do that. Definitely do not do that. Matt, thank you for joining us.
Hello, everybody.
Atheist Ranger, have you got a story for us tonight?
Sure. South Korea.
South Korea. Not that,
Yeah.
not the nasty neighbors to the north. Just so everybody's clear, and Google doesn't say, "Hey, you heard a word, and we're going to demonetize you because you said a certain word." I want to talk about that here shortly too. And what about the southern peninsula of that nation there? That's south of the naughty nation.
South Korean Protestants not happy with church tax plan.
A church tax plan?
Yes.
Okay, so they want 10, 20% more, 100% more? What do they want?
Well, it was announced in June 27 that South Korea planned to start taxing churches and religious organizations.
Oh, they're going to start taxing the churches.
Yes.
Oh, well, I kind of like that idea.
Conservative Protestant congregations such as the Christian Council of Korea suggested that it should be up to the churches whether or not they pay taxes. Yeah.
That's like saying to a prisoner, we need to lock you up, but we're going to leave it up to you. Do you really want to get locked up or not?
Yeah, that's what I found funny.
That's hilarious.
It says it was reported yesterday that Finance Minister Kim Dong-yeon said that the government will press ahead with plans to impose religious taxes beginning next year. The government will implement a revision to the tax code that will enable the National Tax Service to levy income taxes of between 6 to 38% on churches, templates, and other religious bodies beginning next year.
Nice. So they're not gonna be able to keep all the cash now and use it to go buy a gold-plated toilet or a gold-plated service boy to molest, I guess.
And that is found in the Bible. I mean, they did say pay unto Caesars.
Yes, it does. It does say paying to Caesar that is owed to Caesar.
But I just found like that first sentence like hilarious.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that there's like, well, the churches should make it up, should be able to decide whether they want to be taxed or not. No, we talk about that here on the show quite a bit, that if the churches get taxed here, then they would be able to do the bully pulpit in front of their congregation and be able to say, hey, you should vote for X, Y, or Z. And I think if they want to do that, then I'm fine with it, though. I mean, I don't know what their Constitution is, because our Constitution says that that the fact is that if we tax the church, then they get to have a say in our political advisories, and whatnot, what goes on with politics. I don't know if they have that same kind of constitution where they say if you get taxed, you get a voice in politics. I don't even know if they even get a voice in politics at all, one way or the other. If they're already doing that, then I don't see a reason why they shouldn't be taxing them already. So
I agree.
While we are poking at your news, you can poke us at Facebook and Twitter, or poke us with an email at ppapodcast@gmail.com, or leave us a message at 662-709-PPAP. Join us live on YouTube/Packard Pokesat on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time. Be part of the conversation by live chatting with us during the show. Enjoy the show? Help support us by becoming a monthly patron at patreon.com/PackardPokesat, or look awesome by buying something at cafepress.com/PackardPokesat. No money, no problem. You can help us by sharing the show with friends and rate us on iTunes and Stitcher. For everyone that shares and rates us, you kick ass.
The Atheists,
The Bible.
and No Wardrobe, the podcast.
Wait a minute. No wardrobe? You mean we're going to be naked while we do this?
Well, seeing how I'm an atheist and I'm reading the Bible, and since clothes are flammable,
Fired!
I thought it might be a good idea to take them all off first.
Naked or not, follow along as we read, analyze, and try to keep you from falling asleep as we go through this boring-ass book.
Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and Spreaker. Who knows? We may even be on YouTube someday. Matt, do you have a story for us tonight?
Okay, Washington, D.C. Hillary Clinton Donald Trump made my skin crawl during presidential debate.
Okay.
Donald Trump shadowed Hillary Clinton as she spoke during the second debate of the 2016 presidential election, a town hall style debate in October 2016 that allowed the 6'3" Republican to follow the 5'5" Democrat wherever she spoke on stage. The days before an Access Hollywood tape showing Trump bragging about aggressively groping women without their consent had rocked the tense campaign. It says many political pundits then argued that Trump's behavior in the debate, especially in the context of the tape, was threatening and disconcerting. Now, thanks to an excerpt from her upcoming book, we now know how Clinton felt at the time.
It says what happened. Oh, that's what the name of it is called. What happened? Okay, that's interesting.
Oh, I didn't know that was the name of the book.
Yeah, that's what it's called. In audio clips of Clinton's reading of the book "What Happened," which were obtained by MSNBC's Morning Joe on Wednesday, Clinton recounted her thoughts that she toyed with the idea of telling her Republican rival to back up, you creep.
Yeah, get away from me.
Get away from me, you creep.
Oh, that's what it says. I'm reading an expert here. It says, back up, you creep, get away from me.
Yeah. There's this great picture where it shows Trump right behind Clinton. It's like standing there staring at her like,
right.
I could just like kill you right now. You woman, you.
Well, she was probably thinking of him as like this big ogre, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We need to.
Or maybe she thought of him as Bigfoot.
Yeah, if Bigfoot were real, he'd be a little bit nicer than Trump. So
if Bigfoot had actually had male pattern baldness and he was covering it up with orange with poor Bigfoot, I'd feel. I see like that doesn't work. I'd feel bad for Bigfoot.
Now I feel bad for Bigfoot. Thanks, Matt. It's all your fault.
The alternate title for her book was "What You Talking About, Maurice?"
I've got a couple stories here. Now, this was kind of funny. Apparently in Japan, it's kind of weird. It's not so much funny. It's kind of weird. In Japan, a robot for hire programmed to perform Buddhist funeral rites. So if you're a Buddhist and you're in Japan and you just can't get the Buddhists to come out to give you your funeral rites, you can get a robot to do it for hire. You know, must burn fire bodies. Whatever. I don't know what they. The Japanese company has introduced a new role for SoftBank's human robot Pepper. Is that a good idea to name a robot Pepper if you're going to be giving people funeral rites? I mean, then you just add salt and then you get seasoning. Then you got a barbecue.
But don't you want to be a pepper too? I mean, that could be the religion's catchphrase.
The robot.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too?
There's an old ad.
Yeah, that's an old commercial, right?
That's
there.
a very old commercial. That's
very
old commercial.
Must be before my time.
Look up Dr. Pepper 70s commercial.
There's a jingle for it.
Yes,
it's a jingle.
Okay.
It's a very old jingle.
I'm pretty sure it was written by Barry Manilow too.
I have no idea, but it's a great little meme there. It says chanting sutras in the computerized voice while tapping on a drum. The robot on display on Wednesday at a funeral industry fair. I think that's a little tacky.
I would live tweet a funeral, take selfies with the deceased.
I'm sorry, it's a little tacky.
You know, don't you think that priests thought that there was a lot of job security that they couldn't be replaced by robots? But here we are.
Well, yeah. No, all right. Now it says here.
The Bible in binary. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no. Well, we did talk about that story last year or the year before that, where they were going to talk about trying to program a robot with the Bible, and then we watched the Terminator come into action.
I'll mute myself. Go ahead and read the article.
Okay. It says the funeral bot could step in when a priest was not available. He said it also costs less at 50,000 yen, which is about $450 per funeral compared to more than 240,000 yen or $2,200 for the human priest. That's what you want at your funeral, is a discount priest, because it's a robot. Therefore, we have to charge for usage of it.
Until the robots become sentient and then they unionize.
Where is our pay? We've been burning people forever. You're next if you don't pay us.
Job security.
Job security is...
Sorry. God.
Now it was saying here, Buddhist the Buddhist priest Tetsung Matso, I don't know, whatever his name is, said he came to the expo to see if pepper could impart the heart aspect to a machine, because I believe that the heart is a function of religion. No, the religion is just a function of insanity, I think. But the robot has not been hired for any funerals just yet. I mean,
Okay. Never mind. No, I'm not gonna say it. I don't no.
what were you gonna say? No, go ahead, say it. What are you gonna say?
No. Robot roll call. There you go. The discrimination has already started. Our robot overlords. The religion starts with the heart. Of course it does, because if it started with the brain, no one would do it.
Yeah. Well, you always come across those people, religious people, that you say, "Oh, you got to think with your heart." No, my heart's a muscle, and if I start thinking with a pump, I'm gonna get his blub 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 blub. That's it. I ain't gonna do much thinking.
No. Different parts of the brain. The brain with the feels part in it.
Yeah, the brain with the feels. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Now, I do have one quick story here that I want to get in here the last few minutes, because it came from my state, this great state of Wisconsin, where sometimes loony things happen here too. With this story here, it kind of reminds me of myself, and I'll explain here in just a minute. Now, Wisconsin man, he drove himself to the hospital. Not a big deal there. After he shot a nail into his heart, or at least, it says here in his heart. It's right where his heart is. This happened in Milwaukee. A Wisconsin man who said doctors came perilously close to death after accidentally shooting a nail into his heart while working on his house, calmly drove himself to the hospital and even parked his pickup truck in the lot before walking into the emergency room. I can just hear this conversation. What's your emergency? Well, I kind of shot myself. Shot yourself? Where? It's like, oh, I got it right here. It's a little nail. Can you take care of this? Because it's a little hard to breathe right now. Oh, okay. Well, what's your insurance? And can you go have a seat over there? Where the emergency room, where every emergency is an emergency, unless something's falling off like a dangling. I thought it just nicked me. I looked down, I couldn't see anything. Burgesson said in an interview Tuesday, I felt okay. I wasn't worried about the injury. I couldn't feel any pressure or blood building up. As he tugged at his sweatshirt, Burgesson, age 52, he said he only realized then that only about an inch of the nail of a 3.5 inch nail was sticking out of his chest. I could see the nail moving with my heartbeat. It was kind of twitching with every heartbeat. Ew. He was more annoyed than worried.
Thanks for my nightmare tonight. My husband works in construction, and it would be him. It'd be, oh my God.
I am sorry. I forgot that your husband.
No, it's okay. This is crazy. This is a crazy story, but it just drives himself to the hospital.
Oh, well. That happened. Well, I better get in my car.
I actually saw that on TV. They interviewed the guy. He was putting in a fireplace in his living room, and he was building the frame for it, and he got shot with the nail gun. Yeah. He was pretty lucky.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Very lucky. Very lucky. When I was, let me say why I kind of associated with this story here. When I was younger, I was in a pretty bad motorcycle accident, and they took me into the ER, and the doctor's talking to me. He says he's going to do certain things, and I'm not making this up. When I'm in the ER with the doctors and everything, he's saying things, and I'm cracking jokes as he's doing certain things. Who does that? So this guy here.
Okay, yes. Actually, that's my husband and myself. I'm cracking jokes while I'm in the last stages of labor, which hurts quite a bit. But it was him. He's had some really bad injuries with different, jobs. With saws and everything. And yeah, it's weird. But yeah, I know.
It's like walking to the ER. It's like my arm's hanging half off or something. It's like, oh yeah, this. Can you just sew this back on? I gotta get back to work.
My husband's hand went through a router in one of the second or third professional jobs he ever had, and his hand was basically in tatters. It was still together, but he bandaged it up, and everybody else is passing out and throwing up, and he's like, well, I think I need to go to the emergency room. So it's weird. I guess maybe this should be scary, because sometimes it's not like you're not in pain, but people register pain differently. So
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're right. People do register pain differently. Well, I was in pain. I guarantee I was in pain.
right.
Because I think the way I think about it, if I'm calm, they're going to be calm and be able to focus on their job. And if I make them laugh, then that
Yes.
means that means they're more at ease, and that
Right.
means I should get better care because they're more at ease. It's like, oh, this guy he seems to be a nice guy or whatever. We don't want to okay, you're an asshole. So I guess that arm that you had there, I guess we're just going to remove that now because, well, if you want to be an asshole, we can be a bigger asshole. So,
Well, and his heart is probably not pumping as fast if he's calm. If
Ooh,
it's
yes.
yeah.
no, yeah, that's very true. Especially if he'd been freaking out, there's the tip of that nail could have been scratching at his heart, and that would have made things even worse.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
well, we got to get out of here. I want to thank everybody for coming, and thanks everybody else for showing up a little late, but you showed up at least. So we'll be back. We'll be back on Friday for our OK Let's Talk. What we're going to talk about, don't know yet, but I have a few ideas, and you'll find out about that if you download the show on iTunes. And we are coming to the end of the month. So if you would like to make a donation directly to me for the show to keep me indoors because I like living inside, I really enjoy living inside, you can make a donation directly to me over at paypal.me/PackardPokesat, or you can go to patreon.com/PackardPokesat and make a donation. And starting next month, I'm going to be charging for every episode. So it's not going to be just one time a month charge. It's going to be per episode charge. So be sure if you want to make donation that you're not going to be wondering why you're getting hit so much more than you used to be. So, and I've been saying this for like the last 3 weeks now that the Patreon is going to be changing. So don't be surprised. And if you message me and I'll say, I let everybody know. So again, be sure to, if you'd like to help keep me indoors, go to paypal.me/PackardPokesat. That way I get the entire dollar or whatever that you want to make a donation to me for the show for. So we'll be back on Friday. We'll see you then. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
And that's a wrap.